Thank you, Mrs. Dow. The Dow twins, you got to check them out too. I was looking forward to seeing them in Albany. They get on stage and they take care of business. They've been out there for a while. The Dow twins. Our last guest is a photographer and the owner of the Theme Fashion magazine. He joins us to speak about his passion for fashion. I like that, passion for fashion and photography, and to highlight his most recent showcase on the New York City Fashion Week stage. So please welcome to the show, Chris Bailey. Chris, how are you? How you feeling? How you doing?
I am in a different world these days. But thank you so much for having me. It's been a beautiful couple of years. 48, coming on 49.
Oh, you said 40?
49 years of life, that is.
Oh, uh, and how about 49 years of photography also? You came
Oh
out
no,
of
no,
shoot.
no. I started photography when I got right around the time when I got married. That's about 19 years. My father-in-law trained me in photography.
Yeah,
And before he passed away, that's after he passed away, that's when I got into fashion. So
yeah.
about possibly about 15 years of fashion photography.
Yeah, but you went to the School of Visual Arts and Illustration and Cartooning, right?
Yes, I graduated as an illustrating cartoonist major. I was at 17 years old. I actually was working in Valiant Comics as a comic book artist, which
Oh,
was really
wow.
cool. So I've been a comic book artist for years, and you know, I kind of got a little offset by certain editors and stuff like that, of course. But I also worked for like, Encyclopedia Britannica as an illustrator and a
Wow.
concept artist and everything else like that. So I have fun
Yeah.
being an artist. I'm a proud artist, if you can say that.
And you've done some things with TV also. Tell us about the
Yeah.
TV commercials.
TVs, commercials, movies. We've done storyboards for movies, which is a lot of fun. And it was just an incredible time. I loved my time of just doing something that I was given a chance to be blessed with.
And then the Traffic magazine.
Well, Traffic Magazine was the first magazine to pick me up as a fashion photographer. They said they really liked my eye for what I was doing. So they picked me up as a creative art director. They saw a lot of the work I was doing on Instagram and they really loved it. They loved my vision. So they picked me up as a creative art director to kind of help build the brand and mold the magazine into what it needed to be. So, and I loved that ideal. And I was like, yeah, I definitely got to do that. So after that, I've enjoyed the fruits of the labor, if I,
Yeah.
lack of a better word.
And what inspired you to pick up that camera for the first time?
What inspired me to pick up the camera for the first time was actually looking at my father-in-law's work. His name was Jerry Fitzgerald Wilson Turner, and he was an amazing photographer. This is the way me and my father-in-law connected. Besides loving the Yankees, Bronx boy through,
Yeah.
and just photography. I looked at his photos, and it was like, wow, just absolutely amazing. It it's just like I guess you could say it's candy on a tongue that hasn't had candy in a couple weeks. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Now you're the owner and founder of the Theme magazine.
yes.
Talk about it. What can you tell us about the Theme magazine?
Well, Theme Magazine, I'll have a couple of issues here. It's really cool. This Theme Magazine right here. And what we basically do is we give other photographers, models, designers, artists, and anybody who's a lifestyle person who's like dealing with different things that they're doing as far as makeup and everything else like that. We give them a platform that they normally wouldn't get, or especially if you're new or something like that to the scene. And we give that platform that is seen all around the world, which is really cool. And it also keeps me busy as being
Yeah.
a creative artist and, being an artist. It allows me to have fun like that, but it gives me the chance to give them the chance and the opportunities of what is in this business. As you can see here, this is one of the magazines. This was Sharon Carpenter.
Oh,
She was I believe she was a host on BET, and she's still hosting, or she guest hosts with Wendy Williams and a couple others. Uh,
wow.
but it also gives me a chance of taking my art, which is, doing fashion, creating clothes, and just making that photo, and just gives me something to do. So that's one of the things I really love about this magazine.
Beautiful. Now, we just had Fashion Week in New York City, right? New York City
Yes.
Fashion Week. What was the name of your showcase, and what was it like being a part of the New York City Fashion Week experience?
It was nerve-wracking because I didn't
I know.
realize how many things were needed to
Yeah.
be accomplished behind the scenes. But my sister and I put together a fashion show called Generations. Since she's 23 and I'm turning 49, so we decided to have it as Generations, and it was amazing seeing my sister with her collection and my collection come together and create this look, this dynamic look. And I couldn't be more proud of her as a young lady in this world today, as well as seeing the models walk with your clothes. There's nothing like seeing your clothes animated and seeing
Yeah.
people view it for the first time and like, wow, where did that come from? It's
Yeah.
like, it's an act of faith, if you get what I mean.
I like it, and of course, it's a lot of hard work, and then when it's all said and done, this was great. We put it all together. But look at the wonderful pictures that you take. Look at
Thank you.
this.
They are like my children. They basically, all these things are from either very talented people who have also partaked in this, or myself. When we put together this magazine, I can't claim it as my own. It's a lot of different people coming together to make it happen. And even myself, my wife is amazing. She's been my cheerleader for all these years, and
Yeah,
really helps me continue to move that row.
yeah. And you said you have a 16-year-old daughter that helps out?
Oh, no dollars. I do not have children, but that's okay. I have a classroom full of students that I love like they are my own children.
Yeah.
But my sister, who's
Your
23, is the other
sister.
person.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's helping you out with the fashion show, right?
yes, she was the other fashion style designer of the show, which she's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And you also work with some students. Talk about
Yes,
that.
I love the fact that I get a chance to, and I've been blessed to work with the LEAP program, which is partnering with Jonas Bronx Academy here in the Bronx over at
All
Fordham
right,
Plaza.
question. Who
Yeah.
was Jonas Bronx?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that question. For all those who don't know, Jonas Bronx is the originator of the Bronx. He's the person that founded the Bronx as we know it. It's spelled BRONCK, and we just adapted the X on the end just to kind of help make it what it is today. Um, but it's a beautiful school out here in the Bronx on Fordham Plaza. It's sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, and I work with them as far as being a fashion teacher. I
Uh-huh.
teach them fashion. They also have their own runway show. They have their own magazine. I also teach photography, fashion design, and guess what? Star Wars, out of all things. I know. We go through the
Uh-huh.
history of man through the history of Star Wars, which is really cool.
Wow. So you're helping the next generation of fashion designers.
I'm helping the next generation of photographers, fashion people, and anybody like that. Because the ideal is that um, we're trying to give them another path in life, not just to, you know, for our kids to just go for certain jobs like basketball or whatever. And you may not be good at that, but if you can pick up this camera and you can do this, there's a good chance you can do this. You know, photography in its own has its own lexicon of wording and everything else like that. And it helps them read, it helps them formulate sentences because they've got to also write for the magazine. It helps them have a vision for their lives. And a couple of my students are actually going to college, which is really cool for photography or for the arts and stuff like that, which we kind of helped build in those kids.
Beautiful. What's this right here, Chris?
Oh, that was a fun piece. That was done down on West 4th Street for Theme Magazine, and she is an amazing model. I had to make the outfit for her, which was a lot of fun. And what's incredible about it was all about breaking down of pose and lighting at the same time. So it
Oh,
was built for that reason.
So wow, you get into aesthetics and all of that. But wait a minute, you said you made the outfit for her.
Yes. A lot of the shots that you've been showing, I've actually made and created the clothing for the models. So it's for me, it's a lot of fun because the definition of faith is believing in something that isn't there yet. So
Mhm.
for me, the whole art of it is drawing it, then putting it together, getting the model together, getting the background, maybe where the
Yeah.
location is, and then boom, it's right there in front of your face. And then, having viewers look at it and say, where did it come from? And I can only point up before I say anything about myself.
Well, it looks like you're self-contained. You have everything all under one roof. You have a studio also.
uh, I do not have a studio, although I did turn my apartment into a studio at this moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I
That's
do
what
not
happened.
have a studio for the reason of I used to have one in Brooklyn. It was over in Greenpoint. But the problem was all the photos started looking like the same thing since the backgrounds were all the same. So I got better at using outdoor, and I love the fact because it tells a better
Uh,
story. It's like shooting it outdoors and capturing the light where it's supposed to be, or doing
yeah.
nighttime shots. That's fashion 101, and it's amazing.
Hey, anything coming up that we should know about?
Yes, our latest issue, which is covering this year's Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, is going to be dropping this Friday, which is great. And we are going to be doing another magazine within about 2 months. It's a bi-monthly magazine, so that's going to be fun. Um, After that, I'm getting ready for hopefully September's Fashion Week, the next New York Fashion Week, and let's see where it goes from there.
All right. Website, social media. Where do we go?
Okay, if you want to find me on Instagram, you can. Oh, let's go with this one right here. If you want to find the magazine, you can go to thememagazine.net. I'm going to say that again, thememagazine.net. And there you can actually find the magazine. You can also purchase the print. I believe the magazine is for free as online, but if you want the print, you can purchase it from there. If you want to find me on Instagram, you can go to well, my IG is up there, Bailey period IV, which was a name that was given to me by one of my assistants because Chris Bailey, as a photographer, there's like 50 of them. So she got really smart by doing that. And if you want to email me, it's at foresightprod@gmail.com.
But Chris Bailey's not only a photographer, he's a run him down, Chris. Run him down. He's a photographer, he's a fashionista, he's a teacher, an educator.
Yes. But more than anything, I just want to be known as being an artist and just enjoying that, and a good husband and a person
Oh,
that helps and builds a community in that way.
good, good. You want to thank a couple of people? You got 10 seconds.
I thank my wife, my mother, who will never forgive me if I don't say her, and my dad, and everyone that's helped build me, my church, and everything else that goes with it.
And the 26-year-old.
And my 23-year-old sister, and my brother who's turning, oh goodness gracious.
You know what? When you're naming a lot of names, you're going to forget somebody. So just say
Yeah,
everybody that in your life.
yeah, everybody in my life. That's perfect.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much, man. Keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. It's been an honor.
Well, you're always welcome to come back, all right?
Uh,
Our house is your house.
Whenever you want me.
Thank you, Chris. Chris Bailey, photographer extraordinaire. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank our guests, you for joining us, our viewers for tuning in and checking it all out. Make sure you keep following us, BronxNet TV, for continued coverage. But thank you so much for letting us share in this space and time with you. You can join our hosts, Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine for new episodes of Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can and you will. That's the way to go. Thank our BronxNet team, for all of us here at BronxNet. We appreciate you and thank you. And I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all. The Dr. Bob Lee. Peace.